Election season for the Student Government Association makes a start.
And how our students recognize the Black History Month. All that and more on Panther Report News.
Hello, and welcome to Panther Report News. I'm Cherie Pruitt.
And I'm Keelan Berrien. Election season for next year's Student Government Association has officially started. Some competitions will be competitive, while others will not, applications say. And right now, there are 4 candidates running for president, 2 contesting for Atlanta Executive Vice President, and 4 candidates competing for Speaker of the Senate.
Yes, and running on the presidential ballot are Carlos Porter, Naomi Tay, Kaylin Thomas, and Nigel Walton.
And competing for the Atlanta Executive Vice President are Spencer DeHart and Takia Tinsley. EVP seats for the Alpharetta, Clarkston, Decatur, and Dunwoody campuses are uncontested this year.
But bidding for Speaker of Senate are Audrey Abraham, Brianna Bailey, Nia Cole, Peter Menentos. Stay with PRN for coverage of this year's race.
Georgia State University has one of the most diverse college campuses in the country, but it took a while to get to this point. PRN's Ashton Gates has more on the history of Black student exclusivity on the campus and the importance that Black History Month brings to students.
The path to diversity on Georgia State University campuses is one that was forged by those who came before us. Dr. Akinyele Amoja describes the specific action that it took for African Americans to be appreciated on campus, specifically with the start of the African American Studies program.
It started after a sit-in student activism, an occupation of Sparks Hall in 1992 after there was an act of racism on campus.
Dr. Amoja also states why it is important for everyone to know Black history.
That would help them recognize, since all humanity actually comes from Africa, recognize their own humanity.
The journey of African American students at Georgia State has been one that has included both hills and valleys. Georgia State students spoke out about why Black History Month is so important to them and why it should be to all of those on campus.
There were so many African American students who came to Georgia State to look for a higher education, and so for them to have representation on the university campus where they could feel comfortable and learn more about their history and where they come from is extremely significant.
Student Jasmine Stewart says that she appreciates what the African American students before her managed to accomplish.
Fighting for anything is always important. If you don't stand for something, you'll fall for anything. So I think it's great that they wanted something and they fought for it, and I'm proud of that. I hope to do something that great one day.
From Georgia State University, this is Ashton Gates for Panther Report News.
5 Georgia House Democrats are introducing a bill to offer in-state tuition to immigrants with a temporary stay in the U.S. House Bill 896 offers students who are considering out-of-state to attend Georgia's public universities and colleges for a cost nearly 3 times less of what they are paying now. A sponsor says similar policies exist in 19 other states. We now turn to Christian Crittenden for the latest in Georgia State sports. Christian?
Thanks, Cherie. How's it going, everyone? I'm Christian Crittenden, and welcome to PRN Sports. This week, we've got a preview of the upcoming Atlanta Challenge Baseball Tournament, a recap of the Georgia State cheer team's national championship run, and an inside look at Atlanta's newest professional sports team. But first, the Georgia State women's basketball team is currently on a 2-game winning streak after losing 7 straight. Reporter Crystal White has more on how the team looks to turn this season around.
Georgia State's women's basketball team won against Little Rock Trojans 58-43 last Saturday. Taylor Hosenduff had a career high of 23 points with 9 rebounds, 3 blocks, and 2 steals. Hosenduff is humble with her performance but is more happy with the big win.
I'm happy about the career high, but I'm more happy about the win. I'm just happy we went out and we played our best and we won.
Little Rock is currently 3rd in the Sun Belt Conference standings, and Georgia State held them to 29% shooting.
We play together and we follow the game plan. We can win. We can do it. We're just as good as them, just as talented. So as long as we play hard, we'll get the win.
Head coach Gene Hill was very proud of his team performance and shared with me the key strategies heading into the game.
To beat a team like Little Rock, you really going to have to perform defensively. And I think we came out with a lot of energy, and we really did a great job on the boards. And that's what you have to do if you want to win. You have to make sure that you play for 40 minutes, starting on the defense end. So couldn't be prouder than for the other girls than I am tonight.
y'all had a lot of points in the paint. Was that the focus tonight, looking inside?
No question. We wanted to attack, and we knew that, they was a little thin also inside, so we wanted to get the ball in there. We felt like with Hosendove and even with our guards that if we can get the ball into the paint, that we could either finish a shot or get to the foul line and make free throws. So no question, that was a plan of attack.
Crystal White, PRN.
It's only 1 week until the Georgia State beach volleyball team kicks off their season at the UNF Invitational. The Panthers will face Florida International, North Florida, Florida Atlantic, and in-state foe Mercer. Head coach Beth Van Fleet told PRN her goals for the 2020 season.
We're much more focused daily in practice, and the things that we're talking about right now are being one of the top 3 teams on the East Coast, because the top 3 teams automatically go to the national championship. We're talking about winning our division and our conference tournament of the CCSA. So that's a big deal. How do we get to that? How do we get into position to be successful when we get to the conference tournament? And then we're talking about the academic piece, because it's extremely important to us to also win the academic challenges on campus. Our team takes so much pride in working hard in the classroom. So those goals they shape all of the decisions that we're making on a daily basis for how we're training, how we're practicing, and what it is that we're trying to accomplish.
Coach Van Vliet also spoke about the team's preparations.
The team might think I'm crazy a bit, because we do practice in all the weather. So if it's pouring outside, we're out there practicing. We've practiced in the snow before. We practice in sideways rain. We practice when it's crazy windy, crazy hot. The only time we don't practice is when there's lightning, or if it's raining and cold and we think there's a higher risk of injury. So our biggest focus is to prevent injury, and then from there to build our skills. But this team is a bunch of warriors. Like, there's really no weather condition that we could be faced with in competition that we haven't practiced with here in our own backyard.
Last night, the Georgia State men's basketball team returned to Atlanta after a 1-1 road trip to face Appalachian State. Reporter Anthony Patterson has more.
I'm here at the Georgia State Sports Arena, where the Georgia State Panthers defeated the Appalachian State Mountaineers 76-65. 4 Panthers were in double digits, with Panthers guard Justin Roberts leading the Panthers with 17 points. For Panthers head coach Rod Lanier, here's what he had to say on the team's victory.
We always talk about in each game which team is going to play the hardest, the longest, and I thought tonight we did that. We came out with a focused effort, and we defended really well. And I do think, and I've said this in the past, that there's a correlation between our connectedness on defense and the way we play offensively. And I think when we're really connected defensively, it carries over to our offense, and I thought that was the case tonight.
Panthers guard Justin Roberts led the Panthers in scoring tonight with 17 points. Here's what he had to say about his performance tonight.
I mean, I shot pretty good from the three-point line, but I also just, don't want to just be one-dimensional. I want to shoot pull-ups and mid-range, just get to the basket, just be aggressive all around. A lot of the threes I shot were kind of open. I might not get open threes, 5 open threes, the next game. So, but just getting up shots every day, this is my routine, and, it pays off.
Anthony Patterson, PRN.
The Georgia State softball team has gone off to a rough start, opening their season 1-4. However, 3 of the 4 losses came at the hands of nationally ranked opponents. This past Wednesday, Georgia State faced in-state rival, the 15th-ranked Georgia Bulldogs, who beat the Panthers 10-1 at home. The Bulldogs hit 3 home runs on their way to victory, with the Panthers' only run coming from a Caitlin Ray double in the 5th inning. The team will participate in the Spring Games tournament beginning today, where they will face Presbyterian, South Dakota, Butler, Akron, and Monmouth over the 3-day tournament. The Georgia State University All-Girls Cheer Squad competed in the Universal Cheerleaders Association College Cheerleading and Dance Team National Championship for the first time in school history. Reporter Celeste Garcia has more on the team's national performance.
Georgia State cheerleaders made it in 9th place at the 2020 UCA College Nationals. I'm here to catch up with them to find out how it went. How did you guys feel about this championship, or just even coming in ninth? How did that make you guys feel?
I was super pumped. I mean, like Brittany said, I mean, so motivated because we saw so many new things and things that we can do for next year, things that we can do for our crowd. I mean, it was just really rejuvenating. So it was really, really good.
And this was Georgia State's first time ever attending a cheerleading competition.
Yeah, it was our very first time competing. So yeah, we definitely learned the do's and don'ts, but overall it was a great first run. Everyone really pulled together the week before and made sure we were ready. We didn't want to look a mess. We wanted to make sure we went down there and represented Georgia State really well, and we were able to do so.
So what do you think you're going to do differently?
I mean, it's like you need everything. You need strong tumbling, you need strong stunts, you need perfect pyramids, baskets. Everything just has to be close to perfection, so that way when we get there we'll score even better. And the biggest thing I think for us was the confidence level of the kids.
I think it definitely got them excited for the upcoming season. We know where we need to be, so we know what we need to work on. We have goals set already for the future season, and we haven't even had tryouts yet.
Now I'm at a basketball game at the Georgia State Arena catching up with these cheerleaders. Not only are they training to win these competitions, but now they're here cheering for our team. Celeste Garcia, PRN.
Opening day is upon us, and the Georgia State baseball team kicks off the 2020 season in the Atlanta Challenge today. The Panthers will face Cincinnati, St. John's, and St. Peter's in the three-day tournament. First-year head coach Brad Strumdahl spoke to PRN about his expectations on this season.
While many people have plans this Valentine's Day, the Georgia State baseball team will face off with the Cincinnati Bearcats in their season opener Friday. For first-year head coach Brad Strumdahl, he is confident in his team's ability to perform at a high level.
I think that we're ready to go. We've been practicing all fall, and then we got into the spring, and we've had 3 really good weeks of practice, and I think that we're ready to go out there and face some competition. We're kind of sick of playing each other and seeing familiar faces, and we need to get out there and see what the other competition's like and make some mistakes and kind of learn from them and grow this weekend and try to get better each and every outing.
While Strumdahl is excited for the season opener, he knows the challenges the Bearcats can bring to this Panthers team.
They are a formidable opponent for sure. We're going to face a lefty that's pretty good, and he'll be probably a top 5, top 7 round draft pick from the left side. He's 93, 95, and it's going to give us a good test right away to see where we're at. But they're really well coached. They're very well disciplined. They have a rich tradition up there in Cincinnati, and I think they're going to be a really tough opponent.
Even though the Panthers face a tough opponent, they have some great players that can help them win.
Our Friday night guy is going to be Seth Clark, so he's going to go out there. He's a lefty as well. I think that he's tremendous. He's earned a spot to pitch our opening day. Not one singular thing that I'm looking for. I'm just really looking and excited for the guys, and I'm ready to get out here and play.
Game time is set for 4 p.m. at the GSU Baseball Complex. From the GSU Baseball Complex, Anthony Patterson, PRN.
Atlanta is now one more professional sports team richer with the introduction of Rugby Atlanta to the city. The team joins the current roster of 12 total teams in the MLR, or Major League Rugby. PRN's Keelan Berrien got an inside look at the team. Take a look.
Rugby has made its way to Atlanta with the new professional team, Rugby ATL. Players from all over the world, along with the team's head coach, Scott Lawrence, were recruited to execute a successful season.
Everybody has a very common goal, which is to make this team be the best it can be, and that's just awesome to be a part of.
I think we need to come together very quickly. We're a new team, just formed a couple months ago.
In 2006, a professional rugby team was established in Atlanta, but was not as successful, causing the team to come to an end. But Coach Lawrence believed the strength of the league keeps a team together.
Major League Rugby is in its 3rd year. The league is seeing increased attendance, more broadcasting, more digital streaming. So there's a healthier ecosystem around the team itself. The strength of the league is as important as the strength of the team.
And as you can see, Rugby ATL is having a practice to the public, which they are training for their first match against Utah.
First 2 games will start out with a bang. It'll be a tough few weeks. We'll try and find our feet in the first 4 weeks of the season. Utah Warriors have been in the league for 3 years, and we have them first at home. And then we go down to New Orleans, who's a great team as well.
Lawrence has played with the USA Eagles, a national rugby team for the United States, for some time, and took those skills to mold his players. Now the team is ready for their season.
He is a very good people person, so he tries to develop, I think, the person rather than the player.
But coming over here, he's been a great coach. I love the way he coaches. He's got a very open approach to that.
Keelan Varian, PRN.
And that's all we got for you this week on PRN Sports. Be sure to follow us at GSU PRN for all the latest. Now back to you, Keelan.
We're just a couple weeks away until Georgians cast their ballot for the presidential primaries. And student leaders make progress to make Georgia State the first student-led polling location on a college campus. Last week, students from the Panther Vote Coalition attended an orientation and sworn in. They are now official deputy registrars.
Student producers celebrate their films at Campus Movie Fest, the world's largest student film festival. More than 300 students participated in a week-long producing period, making their ideas into reality. The premiere showcased 16 student films from more than 70 teams. Take a look at what one student actress says about the experience.
I think that it was important that we're able to go and find meeting and go and put our creativity into good work and go and just make this beautiful creation for the rest of Georgia State students for entertainment. It was fun.
Kids with disabilities have a chance to express themselves through music. PRN's Dalen Arnold visited the Songs for Kids Foundation here in Atlanta to see how these kids can rock on.
In downtown Atlanta, children with disabilities are able to express their musical talents.
Songs for Kids to me is all about giving kids a creative outlet to express themselves in whatever way is unique to them.
The Song for Kids Foundation began singing to the children in the hospitals in 2007. Now the organization expands, showcasing the talents in the hands of children.
Songs for Kids is about giving them a safe space to come, be creative, express themselves, learn music, just enjoy music, and find that creative identity that they might not be able to find due to their circumstances.
And the foundation gives the children the opportunity to show their skills by having a special performance.
We play at Shaky Knees Music Festival every year, usually opening up the show. And then we also have our 500 Songs for Kids events, which is a big fundraising series of concerts we do throughout the summer, where we have different artists. Sometimes some of them are our kids as well. Pick a song and play that song, and we try to get through 500 songs over the course of the summer.
The foundation gives kids a great experience, allowing them to grow and learn with each other.
It's a place for them to be around other kids like them, a place for them to be working with someone who's not like them, a place for them to open up creatively and find a version of themselves that they might not have even been sure ever existed.
Dalen Arnold, PRN.
Take a look at the latest renderings released of Georgia State's new Greenway. Photos show an open space with grass and stairs leading to the Langdale Plaza. By late May, the university hopes to open a section of the walkway.
Attention seniors. Dates for the spring commencement ceremony are now officially announced. The series of ceremonies will take place from May 6th through May 8th at the Georgia State Stadium. And mark your calendars because registration for the ceremony is set for February 25th.
Do you smell it, Keelan?
Smell what?
Love is in the air. Happy Valentine's Day.
Oh, that's right. Of course. Happy Valentine's Day, everyone. Do you have any plans, Sheree?
Well, I'm just going to spend the night watching romance movies on Netflix.
Oh, okay. Well, I wasn't invited to Valentine's Day this year, so I don't know how I'm going to spend the day.
Well, if you're like Keelan, here are a few ways to spend this love holiday. You can visit some of Atlanta's famous attractions, take a night ride on the Skyview Ferris wheel, walk in Centennial Olympic Park, enjoy a movie at the theater. And if you still don't know what else to do, you can't go wrong with grabbing dinner.
Yep, and the Atlanta Botanical Gardens will have free admission until February 16th in memory of Anna Cox Chambers.
A few students told PRN how they are spending their Valentine's Day on this week's episode of Panther Confessionals. Check it out.
actually just broke up with my girlfriend. But, you know, I'll probably be hanging with the bros or hanging out with family.
I'm going home to see my dog.
Chill with my friends, my loved ones.
I think my partner and I are going to go out to dinner and just take it easy, try to have a date night.
Currently I don't have any plans on Valentine's Day.
I am single like a Pringle.
I'm just going to babysit.
Visit our social media to watch the full video.
Well, that's our show.
Make sure you stay connected to Panther Report news throughout the week, and be sure to follow us on all social media platforms at GSU PRN.
Also, subscribe down below and let us know how you're spending your Valentine's Day.
I'm Cherie Pruitt.
And I'm Keelan Berrien, and we'll see you next week.